From having two of their worst publicly received comebacks this year, to getting hacked by Elon Musk himself, and to having a comeback that seems like a saving grace for their future, ITZY has had a pretty rough year, and that's coming from a massive fan of theirs. I love this group, but like 2022 was rough for them. Like them or not, you gotta be honest. The best way I could put it is these two emojis together, like just this combination of emojis, nothing else added, not in the other order. It's just these two emojis. I was worried for them in the beginning of the year, but with Cheshire, I think they have some hope. So let's just take a look back on ITZY in 2022 as a group. So just real quick, in 2021, ITZY ended their year off with Japanese covers of their older songs. So naturally, starting off 2022 on April 6th, they released Voltage, their first Japanese single. This also came with Spice, which in my opinion were two very good songs. Voltage was a very energetic song, and I loved it. I loved the music video. The music video was very visually pleasing. As for Spice though, as a B-side, I was alright with it. This was the first public activity from ITZY on 2022, so this did seem like a pretty good start. Though it being a Japanese song and not a Korean song, it didn't really get out there as much as it usually would as an ITZY song, but in my opinion though, this was a pretty okay start for ITZY. Now moving on, a couple months later in the month of May, out of nowhere, ITZY Japan's official channel started streaming Elon Musk, Bitcoin, and Ethereum merge incoming. Everyone was so confused. Even I remember getting this notification, I was like, what? And I don't think anyone still has any idea what was going on at that time. Everybody was pretty worried for ITZY because, they got just taken over, and they even decided to rebrand the channel to Tesla Live and delete all their other videos, so no one knows what happened. They definitely got hacked, but like, why though? Yeah, basically ITZY turned into Tesla for just a little bit, and honestly, thankfully it wasn't their Korean channel, it was their Japanese channel, so it was basically secondary, but still, something like that shouldn't happen. So that was a little bit of pitfall for them. As much as this didn't really affect their careers, this was the start of, somewhat bad things. Now, as I say bad things, I don't really mean like the worst of things for ITZY, but comeback promotion did start happening, and it seemed like such hype. At least for me personally, I was super hyped. It was the Checkmate promotion, and then with all this royal stuff, it just looked so sick. And then even the music video teasers, they had a royal concept going on, and it was amazing. I was super hyped for it. It sounded great. It sounded like it was going to be great. It looked great. I was just excited. And then more and more teasers came out for sneakers, and everyone was so confused. Everyone thought that this was going to be like a really late April Fool's prank, and unfortunately it was not. It was just super confusing because they had promotions for this royalty, and then next thing you know, they're in bright colors bowling on TikTok for some reason, and the song comes out and it sounds like this and it looks like this. And honestly, in my opinion, Sneakers is not that bad of a song, but to be misled that much from a Checkmate royalty concept to this, I don't know, man. Like, it's just kind of disappointing from an aspect. The misleading definitely affected the reputation. Now, that was just their title track, Sneakers, that everybody was really on. I decided to give the rest of their album a chance, obviously, and honestly, I love the rest of the album. Racer, Free Fall, 365 were my favorites off of that album. Domino was pretty good too, and What I Want was also pretty good, but Sneakers, like I said, as a song, not too bad, but I really was excited for that royal stuff, and we just did not get it. Points off for that one, but the rest of the album, honestly, not that bad. And about a week and a half later, on July 29th, 2022, Break My Heart Myself featuring Yeji and Rijin dropped. I wish Rijin had a lot more lines in the song, but Yeji did pretty good and it sounded great. So congrats to them because, that was pretty cool. I'm pretty sure it was their first American feature, so, that was also pretty cool in and of itself. Moving on a little bit later, on October 5th, Blah 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 was released, which was an ITZY song all in Japan. Once again, this had two songs, just like the Voltage and Spice duo. This time it was Blah 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 and Can't Tie Me Down. In my opinion, Blah 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 was pretty good. It was a sign of good songs because after Sneakers, like I said, and then I heard Can't Tie Me Down, and honestly, that one was not for me. So, once again, another example of this emoji combo at play for ITZY. And speaking of those emojis, around this time, more promotions started happening for another comeback, and this time it was for Boys Like You. And wow. I hated this song personally. I don't know. I don't even care. Just from the teasers themselves, I could tell I was not going to like this song. And when it dropped, I was not even surprised. I didn't even make it through the entire song. Come at me, guys. I just didn't even like it. But then, bring out the emojis again, the second emoji started happening. Out of nowhere, another comeback teaser happened, and this time it was for Cheshire. And oh my gosh, I was excited for this one. I was really hoping it was not going to be another Checkmate album type deal where, oh, really cool, sleek looking concepts just to get some Barney type music. No, this time it was for real, and having them drop it, I was so excited because it seemed so promising. They dropped the music video teasers, it sounded great. It brought my excitement back to ITZY, and Cheshire, Snowy, Freaky, notice how I didn't say Boys Like You. I loved it all, I still love it all, and that just gives me hope. The Boys Like You comeback, that was very, very, very scary because I thought the entire album was going to be based around Boys Like You. Come to find out, it was Cheshire, and it turns out to be one of the greatest. You know, this gives me hope for ITZY. They had a pretty rough year, so hopefully they will continue to have a good streak in 2023. I remember seeing a clip of JYP himself saying that ITZY was going to have their comeback soon and it was going to be their greatest comeback, and I was iffy about that considering, you know, he's the man that helped with sneakers and thought that it was alright. So like hearing that didn't give me much hope, but I'm glad I trusted him because, you know, there's more good things to come.